So to give you a little bit of introduction as to where this started, so I started my career in the New Zealand Army. I served as an engineer officer and was lucky enough to deploy overseas during my service. Now, after I left the Army, I did a PhD and it was focused on the experiences of women in the workplace. That was more generally across the corporate sector. And then I did a specific case study on women leaders in the New Zealand Army. Now, the findings from this research revealed that yes, there were lots of wonderful experiences that women had, myself included, lots of amazing things to say about my time there. But there were unfortunately also some challenges or themes that revealed that women were experiencing some gender-related challenges. And so what then happened is I ended up, this is post leaving the Army, I spent about 18 months working directly with the Chief of Army and his leadership team, sharing some of these findings and then more importantly, providing recommendations for change to make things better. And this is sort of the basis for the discussion that we're going to have today. It's nothing to do with the Army, but it's part of the story. So after I did this research on the Army and then spent some time working with the Army, I got asked to talk about this experience at a number of different events. And when I was asked to talk about this event, I was asked if I could please talk about the particular themes that would be most relevant to the corporate sector. And so the theme that I decided to hone in on for these extra talks was around the experiences of mums in the workforce. And so I talked about, from my military research, as well as how it extended into the corporate sector, the experiences of working mums. And what happened is that after I gave this talk at a number of different events, women started reaching out to me, mums, and they wanted to tell me about their experience being a working mum. I guess they saw me as someone who might care about this topic, and well, they were bang on, I definitely do. And so what happened, I ended up quite unintentionally undertaking a significant extra research project around the experiences of working mothers. And so these women that reached out to me, there ended up being about 80 of them in total to start with. And I kept hearing the same stories over and over again. And so I kind of couldn't help myself putting my research hat back on again and taking note of what these women were telling me. Now, I do want to be really upfront. This additional research project, it wouldn't meet the same academic rigor criteria that my PhD did, and so this probably can't be published in an academic journal at this point. But there really is something in the findings that I gathered. And what was interesting, the women that reached out, they were either reaching out to tell me about their difficult experience being a working mother and the challenges that they faced, or they were reaching out to tell me about how they felt they were an exception and how they had a great experience and they were really lucky and really grateful. So that in itself does add a little bit to the validity of these findings, because the self-selected participants who reached out to me, they were on both sides of the fence, women who had a good experience and women who didn't have a good experience.